She doesn't show it explicitly. She doesn't tell you she's being ignored, that her needs aren't being met, or that she's looking at you wondering how you feel. Women don't communicate that way, but her body does. Her behavior shows it. If you know what you're looking for in a relationship, the subtle changes you make will tell you everything. It's not about women being randomly attracted to you, but about women carrying unmet desires like a burden, hoping the right man will notice and fulfill them. By the end of this, you'll learn to recognize the signs of her sexual frustration, and hopefully you'll be the one to gently guide her towards change. Notice the numbers 4 and 9. These are the two numbers you can hide a lot from. Let's take a closer look at them. First, she responds in an unusual situation. You're at work or in a meeting with a friend. She makes a normal comment, nothing special, but her response is longer than necessary. She laughs a little louder. She gets too close. She stares at you for too long, too much. When a woman feels intense desire, that energy needs an outlet. And this energy manifests itself particularly in her interactions with men she finds attractive. Here's the difference. A contented woman will treat you calmly, warmly, and with composure. A frustrated woman, on the other hand, will react with excessive enthusiasm. Her overreaction isn't because you're fun or interesting, but because you're attractive and she wants to get closer to you. If you feel her reactions are exaggerated, it's not just because she's interested, but because she's eager. If her reaction is exaggerated, notice how she maintains physical distance from you. Secondly, she makes excuses to be near you. You're at a dinner party, so she sits next to you when she could be anywhere else. You're in a business meeting, so she retreats to a corner of the room. You walk together in a parking lot, her arm constantly touching yours. A sexually satisfied woman maintains a comfortable, neutral distance. She doesn't ask anything of you, so she doesn't need intimacy. A frustrated woman, on the other hand, will attract men who are attracted to her against her will. She craves intimacy, connection, and presence. She may not realize it, but she knows that being close to you makes her comfortable, which is why she keeps returning. If she's constantly encroaching on your personal space without any legitimate reason, her body is expressing what her words cannot. When she approaches you, pay attention to how she touches you. Third, her touches are meaningful. There's a difference between a casual touch and a rough one. A sexually frustrated woman is more likely to engage in the latter. When she touches your arm, squeeze her hand instead of scratching it. When she playfully taps your shoulder, her fingers linger for a second after the tap. When she gives you something, the transition is instantaneous. Her fingers move gently, deliberately over your body. How does repressed physical desire emerge? You can't respond directly to what you feel, so it manifests through these subtle interactions. Every touch is a breath of fresh air. Here's what to pay attention to. Does her touch feel intentional? Does she seem to enjoy touching rather than simply doing it? If each touch carries extra weight, she's expressing something unspoken. If her touch is heavy, wait until you notice what happens to her breathing. Fourth, her breathing changes when you get close. Chapter 2. The psychology behind her subtle signals to her. Whether you're there to talk about something personal or you're standing very close, you can feel the warmth emanating from her and you notice something. Her breathing has changed. It's become a little deeper, a little faster. Her chest rises and falls noticeably. It's a physiological response that women can't control or mimic. When a woman feels sexually aroused and finds herself near a man she's attracted to, her body reacts before her mind can even process it. Arousal activates the autonomic nervous system, causing her breathing to quicken. It's the same response that occurred in the past, but now it happens in public and she tries to hide it. If you notice how her breathing changes when you get closer, she's not only enjoying the conversation, but her body is also responding to you, even if you don't fully understand it. If her body is responding, listen carefully to what she's saying. Fifth, she's taking the conversation to another level. You're having a casual chat about weekend plans or a recent trip, but she somehow makes it personal. She asks if you're single. She wonders if you're in a relationship. She teases you about how long it's been since her last vacation or date in a way that goes beyond words, and that makes it worse. Conversations with a sexually frustrated woman often revolve around this because it's what's on her mind, what leads her to intimacy and connection. She's not doing this to gather information for you, but rather to test the waters and see if you're interested. She then offers some insights that might lead you to topics you'd like to discuss, or better yet, take action on. If you're looking for ways to make the conversation more personal, more respectful, and more engaging, she hopes you'll find them there. If the topics are personal, observe her as she talks about her current situation. Sixth, she hints at something she misses. They might be talking about coffee or drinks, and she might mention her husband's long working hours. Or she might complain that her boyfriend is always tired, or she might comment on how their relationship has changed since they were classmates. She doesn't just open her heart, she tells you exactly what she feels is missing in her life. Content women don't point out what they lack. They don't mention their shortcomings. A frustrated woman, however, might hint at it indirectly, sometimes because she wants someone to understand her. That's the crux of the matter. She says this for a good reason. She's not seeking pity. She wants to ensure you understand her underlying message. You can respond whether you fully grasp her meaning or not. If she's talking about neglect, she's opening a dialogue. If she's alluding to something missing, pay attention to her reaction when you listen. 7. Her face lights up when you focus on her. Ask her a question about herself, a real question, not just casual chatter. Or compliment her on something, or give her your undivided attention for a few minutes, and she will change. Her back straightens, her eyes sparkle. She becomes more lively, more engaged, and more present. It's like being cut off from the world. That's what neglect feels like when you're finally eating. A woman who has experienced neglect physically, emotionally, or both responds to genuine attention, like water responds to a desert. If your attention makes a noticeable difference to her energy, she'll not only enjoy the conversation, she takes what she truly wants and remembers you as the one who gave it to her. Now, watch what happens. 09. Ow chows. Chapter 3. The first 2 signs. She wants more connection. Onto 3 will shock you when you pull back. 8. She follows your attention when you're distracted. You turn to talk to someone else in the meeting. You glance at your phone for a few moments. She's distracted by something in the room. Suddenly, she pulls you back. She calls your name. She touches your arm. She asks a question that draws your attention to her. She cannot let go of her determination. Not because she is needy by nature, but because she is thirsty for what you have just given her. This behavior resembles stalking and is a strong indication of unmet desire. A woman who is sexually and emotionally fulfilled will allow you to watch without fear. A frustrated woman, however, will try to reclaim that fulfillment because she feels she is missing something she cannot afford to lose. Whether you're deliberately trying to get her attention or not, she'll tell you how much she wants it. And when she wants your attention, watch how she lets it go. Eventually, she'll pause as if she doesn't want the conversation to end. The event is about to conclude. The conversation has reached its natural conclusion. Everyone started to leave, but she didn't move. She was searching for something else to say. She asked what she would do next. She stood there with the keys in her hand, but didn't take a single step toward the door. All the signs pointed to her leaving, but she stayed. There was a reluctance to let go. When a woman spends time with a man who arouses her sexually, the last thing she wants is for that feeling to end. He might not respond. She might finally leave, but hesitation is the deciding factor. She's not ready to be the one going home. If she stays to say goodbye, she hopes the evening will take a different turn. And if it does, her last words will say it all. 10. We have to do this again, she says as if she wants to. Finally, as she was leaving, she said, "We must do this again someday." But it wasn't just a casual remark. She gazed into your eyes. Her voice was gentle. Her words resonated deeply, like a kind word, like a subtle invitation. "We must do this again," she said, her touch tender. She's still trying to compose herself and is getting ready to leave. But this woman, upset and frustrated with the relationship, is asking questions as if she wants to reassure you that this isn't a one-off, as if she's hoping for your approval. If she feels we should repeat it, it's because it is. She's not being nice. She leaves the door open and begs you to leave. That's the truth. A sexually frustrated woman doesn't announce it. She doesn't tell you she's unhappy, neglected, or wants more. Society doesn't allow her to express these things openly, but she tells you through the way she responds to your presence, the way she touches you, the way she breathes when you're near, and the way she stands when she needs to leave. She's not asking you to save her. She's hoping you'll notice something she can't express and have the insight to do something about it. Now you know what she's looking for. The rest is up to you.